What up everyone, it's your man X-Man87 here, bringing you another Marvel Legends news video, and what I have for you today are the 2024 Pulsecon Marvel Legends reveals. Before we get into everything, if you could please leave a thumbs up, like rating on the video, it'll help show your support for my channel, and I greatly appreciate it. Now with that said, let's talk about it. Alright, so before we get into the full reveals, one key note I want to point out that they mentioned that I didn't know before is that they actually confirmed Dragon Man will have toe joints. So this is something that Ryan Ting pointed out wasn't seen on the renders, nor was it even on the prototype model. So it's really cool that he's going to have toe joints. I'm cool with that. And I think he also mentioned an articulated tongue. I don't know if that was mentioned before. If I mentioned it before in one of my videos when he was revealed, my bad, I forgot, but just want to put it out there that he does have an articulated tongue, which I find really freaking cool. Alright, now with that out of the way, let's get into the reveals. Alright, first reveal of the day is the Spider-Man Animated Series VHS 2-pack, and the first figure out of that 2-pack is Spider-Man in his classic deco, which I had a feeling they were going to redo as the first animated series they did with the cell shading deco, and I'm happy that there's no cell shading on this one because I wasn't really feeling that other one. But again, same body buck, the Sunfire body, and it's pinless. But the only thing is that, yeah, it is Sunfire buck base, and I wish they kind of put him on the Amazing Fantasy body, but, you know, that was pretty much already done in the Amazing Friends 3-pack, so I get why they did it this way. I still think they could have at least done something different to give him the double diaphragm joint, you know? So basically what I'm saying is the retro Spidey buck, just keep it pinless like this, and a new head. I think that's a new animated head sculpt, right? Is that the same one from the Walmart exclusive one with the cell shading? I don't remember right now, but I think it looks cool, and he's got some pretty cool accessories. Something I've always freaking wanted was a mask that he can hold, and I'm happy to see that. So he does have C-grip hands, so he could hold his mask because he'll have unmasked heads, and one of them is Peter Parker, which I believe is the same one from the Smythe 2-pack one, and a surprise alternate head, which is Flash Thompson. So if you guys remember in the cartoons, Flash Thompson did don a Spider-Man costume when he posed as an imposter, but no wall crawling hands though. I guess they ditched the wall crawling hands for the C-grip hands. That's not cool in my book, you know. They should have included the wall crawling hands for sure. But this is another way for them to sell Spider-Man in his classic suit, and they know that always sells because it's Spider-Man in his classic suit. We all know that. It's a guaranteed sell for them. His fellow 2-pack mate, however, I am very excited for, man, and it is Vulture. I did call this one in my prediction. Well, it was kind of a cheat because he was already leaked, but I did think somehow, some way that he was gonna show up at Pulsecon, and he looks great. I think you guys know that the Spider-Man animated series, their character designs are like my definitive looks for those characters. So this is another one that's gonna replace the comic one on my shelf, and I love the young man Vulture look. He looks so freaking cool. I love the armor. I love everything about this figure. I think that's a new buck, man. I'm not sure. It looks pretty new to me, at least the legs. But he's got his layers, you know, he's got his harness, his belt, the thigh straps. I love that. The gloves that are raised, you know, they're not just painted on. And the one thing I will say that bums me out are those wings. I cannot stand those wings, man. It's not even animated series accurate at all, because these are severely undersized for one. Not just that they're inaccurate to the cartoon, but they're completely undersized. In the cartoon, they were huge, man. I mean, I could post an image for you here. They were huge, and I think that you can make the argument that in some scenes, you know, it looked a little smaller, and that was just to make it easy for the animators to play out some perspectives. So you can make that argument. When I think of that Vulture, I just think of those big, razor-like wings, and I just wish they had more details. I wish they ditched these wings and gave him some new wings. All in all, I still like this figure. The accessories, he does have the old man Vulture head, which is awesome. I expected that, and he does have a set of open hands. The 2-pack is a Hasbro Pulse exclusive. It retails for $49.99, and it's slated to release sometime this year. Yo, they kicked things off with a bang for their Secret Wars wave, and they revealed the Beyonder right away. Like, right away. They didn't even build up to it, and I'm so freaking happy. I called this in my prediction video yesterday, man. I know I've been clamoring for this figure all year. Not just this year, but, in years past, too. But this was the one that I wanted the most. I'm like, there's no way they can do a Secret Wars wave without the Beyonder. You gotta have the Beyonder. It's been over 40-something years, and this character has never had an action figure before. This is the first ever Beyonder action figure. I know, it's crazy. And my God, I am just so freaking happy to have this character. And to my surprise, they gave him an all-new sculpt from scratch. I know! I was just thinking, yo, this is a easy character to make because they could just take the Red Skull limbs, the arms and the legs, and just give him a new torso. No, they didn't. They gave him an all-new sculpt. And I'm happy about that. They put effort into him. So, Hasbro, they could have easily half-assed it. And honestly, if they half-assed it like that for a Beyonder, I wouldn't mind, because I've always wanted a Beyonder figure. And, oh man, I said I would take this one or his armored version. I don't care either way. I just want the Beyonder. So I'm sure we'll get a armored version later down the line, but right now the most important thing was just getting this character in the line, and he looks excellent, man. I always said, why did it take so long to make this character? He's just so easy to make, give him some freaking pants and sleeves and with that Red Skull body. I felt like he should have been out a long time ago, but hey, time worked out. He's an all-new sculpt from scratch. Not complaining. I'll take it. Anytime there's an all-new sculpt, I'll take it. And he looks fantastic. Again, I'm so happy to see this character in Marvel Legends form. The sculpt is clean. It's clean. I really like it. I like his jacket piece, the overlay on the torso. His head sculpt, to me, is just flawless. I love it. I love that warping accessory effect he comes with. That is so damn crisp. And, of course, like the Secret Wars line in the past, that 80s line had like these little shields, and he comes with that. As you can see, he has shields with 2 different portraits. He'll also have alternate hands, and he'll be on that Secret Wars vintage packaging. So I love the look for this retro card. The perfect choice. If they did this Secret Wars wave without the Beyonder, it would have been an instant fail for me, and I am happy that they finally gave us the Beyonder, one that's checked off my wish list now. He was like, top 3 villains I've wanted for freaking forever. So I am just, beyond thrilled, man. This is definitely one of the most anticipated figures for me next year. And another banger reveal was Titania, and I did not expect Titania to be a part of this wave. I had a feeling she was definitely going to be revealed this year after She-Hulk. I'm like, there's no way they're going to make this She-Hulk and not follow up with the Titania. And I'm happy to see her part of this wave, honestly. It makes the wave that much stronger. And look at that muscular sculpt. It is gorgeous. Wow, this is another one that was on my wish list. Titania just looks absolutely stunning. The spiky thigh-high boots, or knee-high boots, I should say. And just the overall sculpt, the muscle definition is very defined. I like that metallic gold belt. All new sculpt from scratch we're looking at here. No She-Hulk reuse whatsoever. This looks stunning. That head sculpt and hair sculpt, it just looks so freaking good. Look at the spikes on the arms too. The elbow joints, the pinless elbow joints are a little mismatched, I could tell. But the knees look fine from what I'm seeing. You know, maybe it's a little slightly off, but it's not too drastic. It's not as bad as others that I've seen. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. What an amazing figure. She'll have alternate hands, gripping hands, along with the fist, and also that shield as well. And to see how she scales next to She-Hulk, as you can see, She-Hulk slightly towers over her, which is alright. I mean, in the comics, She-Hulk is 6'7", Titania is 6'6", so even if they made Titania the same size as She-Hulk, it would have been fine, but I like that She-Hulk has a little bit of leverage there. You can see the comparison in the muscle mass. You can see that She-Hulk has a little more muscle mass, but they both have those thick muscular thighs, and I think they captured their physiques and statures pretty damn well. This reveal gets a 2 thumbs up. If I had more thumbs, I'd give them all up there. Like, she looks stunning. Next reveal, we already saw this at San Diego Comic-Con, but it is the brown suit Wolverine, and yep, like the Secret Wars line back in the 80s, it is paying homage to that light brown deco. And see, y'all were tripping about why it's a light brown and not dark brown. And even Ryan Ting said it is to pay homage, man. There's nothing wrong with paying homage to a retro figure, and I love it, man. It takes me back. I had this figure when I was a kid. Well, you know, the vintage one. Well, technically, my brother had it. He was like 10 years older than me. But as a kid, I remember having that figure in hand. And that was one of my favorite Wolverine toys back in the day. And wow, this is basically the X-Men 97 buck. And those of you that saw my video of ranking my favorite Marvel Legends Wolverine figures, you guys know that X-Men 97 Wolverine is my favorite Marvel Legends Wolverine figure. So just getting that in the brown deco, I mean, it's freaking awesome, man. I have no complaints. The only thing I wish they did, which they should have taken advantage of, was give them the double diaphragm joint, because they did it with the Astonishing X-Men. Which now I probably think that might be the best Wolverine figure, but it's the traditional ab crunch hard waistline swivel, and I think this would have been the right time to give them that double diaphragm joint, because obviously they're gonna make more Wolverines. They're never gonna stop making Wolverines, and eventually they'll have to make a blank body for Wolverine with that double diaphragm feature. So if it's not now, then I'm sure we're going to see it later down the line, so we're just going to have to be a little more patient. This still, to me, is a must-get. I like I like the hairy arm deco there. I actually like the unmasked head, too. The Logan head looks really good here. Something about it, I don't know. He looks mean. They've been doing a good job with their Logan head sculpts, and even the Wolverine head sculpt, he has a smirk. I said I always wanted a smirk with the cowl on, and get it here. He looks great. I still think he should have had an alternate head with the mask on that has a neutral expression or a yelling expression. And for hands, he'll have the regular fist and the other set with the claws out. So this was the Wolverine Dan Yoon said that was his favorite. And then Ryan Tang pointed out, interestingly enough, that there's another Wolverine coming in 2025 that tops this one for him. So let the speculation begin on that. Knowing Dan Yoon, I know he's a big AOA fan. I know him and I talked about our love for AOA back in Toy Fair 2020, and I can suspect that it might be an MCU AOA Weapon X version. That would be freaking dope from the Deadpool and Wolverine film. So I know we're going to get more Wolverine figures next year for sure. We're always going to get Wolverine figures every year. But yeah, let me know if you're excited for the Secret Wars brown suit Wolverine. Next reveal is a classic Iron Man. Technically the first roadie as Iron Man in Marvel Legends. And this one, the biggest difference is it is pinless. As you can see, no more pins from that 80 years body. So we get a nice pinless Iron Man. This is how he should look. I like the pinless look on him for these kind of armors that don't have those heavy, intricate details, so it makes the limbs look smoother. And he does have his effects, the typical repulsor rays. He has those smoky, steamy effects like the Model 9 does, but it's in a more smoky black color. And he does have a pretty cool callback from the old Secret Wars line, which is that blaster, that dual blaster he has. And a pair of roller skates, attachable roller skates. That's hilarious, man. That's freaking hilarious. But for some reason, I'm low-key okay with that. And he's going to have a set of C-grip hands to hold that blaster as well. Even though they acknowledge this Iron Man as Rhodey, they still gave the shield portrait to Tony Stark because they wanted to call back to that vintage line. So this Iron Man is pretty packed with accessories. The 2 steamy effects, the 2 repulsor rays, 3 sets of hands. You get the fists, the opened hands, and the C-grip hands. The roller skates, the dual blaster, the shields. Yeah, he's pretty loaded. Next one up is the first pinless Captain America in his classic suit. This was inevitable. I knew this was coming. I did predict that we would get a classic Iron Man and Captain America somehow, but I thought they would save that as like a multi-pack, but it's going to be thrown in the wave. And funny, I even called like another classic Spider-Man 2 in that predictions video, right? But instead of him being in Secret Wars, he's in the VHS 2-pack. Anyway, getting onto the figure here, he's pinless. It looks great. If you got the 20th anniversary Toy Biz one that they did a few years ago, I mean, that's still a great Captain America. It's up to you whether or not you want a pinless version. I'm going to get it regardless. I mean, Cap is my favorite Avenger. And the only thing I wish they did differently was give him butterfly joints, man. They didn't give him butterfly joints. I felt like that is what is needed for a Cap, especially because he's a shield-throwing character. So I just don't understand why they didn't give him shoulder joints. And also, I was hoping for the double diaphragm joint treatment too. At least a ball jointed waist with an ab crunch, I'll take that. But, I definitely need him to have some sort of pivoting on the torso because, again, throwing his shield, he is definitely going to move his body side to side a lot. And yeah, I feel like that is a missed opportunity there. So they're just going to make us really wait for another classic Captain America version with a updated diaphragm joint and maybe shoulder joints with that as well. What's really cool is the accessories, and he comes with a shattered shield, and this is freaking awesome. When Doom shattered his shield, and you can see you get 2 extra pieces, and that is so damn cool. I really like the way that came out. He also has a smiling head and a very mean, angry head. I'm still waiting for them to do a yelling, open mouth yelling expression for Captain America. I feel like that's the one thing we do need. And Captain America is another one that they gave options for a good set of hands. So we got the fists, we got the C-grip hands, and we get what looks like to be a salute hand and a pointing finger hand. So still a good choice of accessories here. Lastly, to round out the wave, Symbiote Spider-Man. Can't have a Secret Wars wave without Symbiote Spider-Man. It is so iconic when that costume made its first appearance. And didn't I call it yesterday in my predictions video that we would get a Symbiote Spider-Man on the Amazing Fantasy body? I am so happy to see that. That's the buck I wanted them to use for Symbiote Spider-Man. Then Renew Your Vows, because you guys know how I feel about Renew Your Vows Spider-Man. I feel like that buck is too tall for Spider-Man. That's why I love the Amazing Fantasy Spider-Man body. It's, he's a little bit shorter, and I just love the look. He just looks so cool, and I'm happy that they fixed the ports on the arms. I think that's another thing I mentioned in my prediction video is that I hope they get rid of those web wing ports in the arms, and they did. They retooled the arms. And yeah, overall, he just looks great. That head sculpt I like more than the retro symbiote one. Probably their best you know, Symbiote Spider-Man head. He's got the web patches on his hands, which has that kind of triangular shape to it. And we get like this angry, expressive head for the Symbiote Spider-Man. I think this is the first time they ever gave us an angry, expressive head for the Symbiote Spider-Man, and he just looks awesome. He has the bare minimum set of hands that you want in a Spider-Man, which is fists, whipping hands, and wall-crawling hands. And the most important thing for me is that they captured the Symbiote logo accurately, like when he appeared in Secret Wars. So that was another thing I really wanted. So yeah, I'm happy with this one. After I saw the Symbiote Spider-Man with the VHS 2-pack last year, he had the cell shading, right, that came with Carnage. That didn't work for me, and even if they made that figure without the cell shading, I knew that I wanted the Symbiote Spider-Man on the Amazing Fantasy body. Don't get me wrong, I would have taken Renew Your Vows without the cell shading for a Symbiote Spider-Man, but I wanted Amazing Fantasy body first and foremost. The Secret Wars wave is available for pre-order right now, and each figure retails for $24.99, and it's slated for a January 2025 release. Then we get a surprise reveal from a fan vote winner. I don't even remember when they hosted this fan vote. I never even seen it, unless it was amongst the crew themselves, but it is an Uncanny X-Force Nightcrawler. When I made my predictions video yesterday, I had a feeling we were going to see something X-Force related, and I even mentioned in that video, man, it would be really cool to see an Uncanny X-Force Nightcrawler, and here it is, and he looks so good. You know, it is a repaint, but it's the X-Force costume, and I love that X-Force team, and I gotta have it. I gotta have that Uncanny X-Force, and Dwight kind of teased that more X-Force figures are coming, you know. I do think with some of those leaked lists, like getting X-Force Archangel and X-23 and some others, we are definitely going to get some sort of X-Force multi-pack or, you know, whatever. Maybe some solo releases. But yeah, don't know how this will be released. The last fan vote winner was Crimson. No, not Crimson. I was about to say Crimson Cow. Red Widow. And she was part of the Zabu Build-A-Figure wave. So maybe he might be thrown in a future wave where it's like a mixed wave like that one, where it had like Avengers and X-Men characters together. Or we might get a dedicated X-Force wave. You know, it'd be nice to get a second X-Force wave. He might be a multi-pack, I don't know. But let me know how you think this Nightcrawler will be released. No accessory reveals. It's just the figure reveal for now. He just looks great, man. I'm so down for this. Lastly, you know how the Legends team loves to end things with a teaser, and we get this folded, creepy looking mask, and that's an easy one, right? Chameleon. Definitely getting Chameleon. How? I don't know what version they're gonna do, honestly. We might get the robe version. We might get an animated series version. So I'm hoping for animated series version. That's the one I want. But the animated series version didn't use masks. He used that belt to shapeshift. Not shapeshift. I guess disguise. I don't know. You guys know what I mean. But yeah, I think he'll probably be part of that Spider-Man wave where they teased Spider-Boy and Spider-Man Unlimited. So I'm hoping this leads to another Spider-Man Build-A-Figure wave. It's been way too long since the last Build-A-Figure wave for Spider-Man. I mean, going into 2025, now it's going to be like 4 years. Yeah, 4 years since the last Spider-Man Build-A-Figure, which was Armadillo. So they've been pushing out the retro cards heavily, and I miss the Spider-Man BAFs. Those are some of my favorite BAF waves. The Spider-Man BAF waves are always exciting. But yeah, Chameleon, no matter how they do them, the comic version with the robe or the cartoon version is definitely going to be better than the last one they gave us with that, you know, that outdated suit body. So it's time we get a badass Chameleon figure. And now to wrap things up, overall, I think this was a good showing. Definitely a Pulsecon where they showed less this year, which is odd. They normally go all out with lots of reveals for Pulsecon, but that's okay as long as what they showed was a solid selection to bolster or upgrade my shelves, then I'm good with it. I wished we got a Giant Man status update for which month we can expect him to ship out. Other than that, I think the only thing I would have changed was to take Captain America and Iron Man out of that Secret Wars wave and put in a classic Falcon with Red Wing and maybe a Constrictor or Doc Ock. But at least we got two awesome looking villains. Yeah, I don't think Cap and Iron Man was needed. Like I said in my predictions video, I think that would have been a waste in a wave, just because if you got Symbiote Spider-Man and Brown Suit Wolverine in it, they're enough to anchor the wave. So in a way, I felt like we kind of got robbed from some characters we needed, like Constrictor, as I mentioned, and a classic Falcon with Red Wing, over a Captain America and Iron Man that, you know, could be given to us on any given day. However, the Beyonder, oh man, bruhs, I'm still crying. Oh, I can't believe it, man. I just can't believe it. I want to quote Drew McIntyre, what he told CM Punk. I prayed for this, and it happened. You guys know I'm a WWE fan, so I gotta throw in a WWE reference here. But yeah, I just can't believe it. He was definitely my favorite reveal. My top 5 reveals were Beyonder, Titania, Symbiote Spider-Man, Vulture, even though he comes with that classic Spider-Man on the outdated Sunfire Buck 2099 white suit Spider-Man Buck, whatever you want to call it. It was a real shitty choice putting him on that Buck. They should have done the retro Spider-Man with the super articulation, just keep the limbs pinless, and or Amazing Fantasy Spider-Man, because it would have been a great option to give people another chance to get a Spider-Man with his classic deco on the Amazing Fantasy Spider-Man body. So you think about the Amazing Friends 3-pack, that's really the only classic Spider-Man deco we got on that Buck. So yeah, that is definitely a choice. I think the one thing that makes up for it is the accessories. Then my 5th favorite reveal was either the Brown Suit Wolverine in full. You know, we got to see the accessories he comes with. We didn't see that at Comic-Con, or the X-Force Nightcrawler, so I could go either way with one of them. Again, not a lot of reveals, but the little they did show I am excited for, and that's all I care about feeling, because that's how I want to feel whenever they reveal new figures. No matter if they showed a lot or showed very little, I need to feel that excitement. Otherwise, I know they didn't do a good job if I didn't get excited. The small reveals were effective, as it sets to wrap up this quarter of 2024 to then lay out the groundwork for 2025, which looks to be like another solid year for Legends. My on-reveal rating for this show, I'm going to give it a solid 8 out of 10. Now I kick it back to you. What did you think of the new Marvel Legends Pulsecon 2024 reveals? Who were your favorites and who were your duds? And which one was your #1 favorite reveal? Also, would you be down for a Secret Wars 2 wave? Comment below, let me know, we'll chat about it. Thanks for watching another Marvel Legends news video. Please follow me on Instagram if you haven't already at xman87. Hit the notification bell so you always know when my latest videos are up. Share and subscribe if you're new. See you on the next video. Peace, peace.